Still got my flat cap on, afternoon. Just spent an evening's fishing at my local reservoir here, where I'm a member. It's just been really good. I've fished for about an hour and this is how it's gone. I never thought I'd hear myself saying this, but it just might be too big than I want. It's a lovely fish, but just might be too big and wasted on me. So finally I've got a fish that's about the right size for cooking, and what I'm going to do is go out and take the Packraft out on a trip down the canal and hopefully a wild camp, and we'll cook this trout. See you later. How's it going, everyone, and welcome back. I'm carrying out my plan. I don't know if you remember this video. I came and did a recce of this bit of woodland, and what I've done is I put in my Packraft about 5 kilometers, 3 miles up the canal here at a place with quite a low bank, so it wasn't too difficult getting in. And I've done the paddle down here. It's exactly like the recce I was hoping to, well, I did the recce and I was hoping to do this camp. So here we go. The wood is much more in leaf now than it was when I came at the beginning of the year, which is good. I've got to be a bit careful. It's obviously private land. It's surrounded by quite a lot of farmland, and I'm going to make sure that I obviously leave no trace of me being here. So I'm going to have a little look around. I bought my bivvy tonight and see a suitable spot where I can tuck myself in. I also want to hide this Packraft a little bit, but it was a great fun paddle. I was hoping to get my drone just to pop it on the bank and do some drone shots, but you got some drone shots of this area earlier in the year. It was just too difficult. The bank is very high, and to get all my stuff out, launch the drone, and then come back and so on, it just was too much. But really looking forward to this camp, so I'm going to have a little explore, see and find a suitable patch of ground. Well, I've just been on my little recce. It's quite difficult to find any level ground. I maybe should have bought a hammock, but you know me and sleeping in hammocks, not great. What I have found out that part of this wood is actually very active heronry. There's loads and loads of nests and loads of birds. It's a particular section of the wood, and I don't want to disturb them because they're probably going to have young, and they're sounding a little bit agitated, so I'm going to make sure I go to the opposite corner of the woods when there's no activity. I can't see any nests in the trees, and I'll set up camp there. Well, that's a nice flat bit of ground. They're few and far between actually, quite close to the canal, but well away from that henry, which I was a little bit worried about, because last thing I want to do is disturb their habitat, but they're a long way up right the opposite corner of the wood. I'm not Well, I've christened my ferro rod, which I'm really pleased. It worked absolutely perfectly. I've lit a little barbecue in the full-size fire trough, so that's going to be used to roast the trout that I caught yesterday, so that's still nice and fresh. Made myself a cup of tea on the FireTrough Mini, and yeah, I'm just going to get the camp in order. I've put my Altkit Elan bivvy up, which looks great, and my usual Enlightened equipment sleeping bag with the Thermarest X-Therm, I think it is, sleeping mat. I put that on top of my German ground sheet, which will protect it nicely, and then I can use the ground sheet again as a spray deck on my Packraft, because it was quite a wet experience pack rafting. It's not like being in the canoe, you're a bit closer to the closer to the water. But yeah, I'm going to have a nice cup of tea now and then get on with some food prep. Bit of a delay in proceedings. Had the most almighty downpour. It wasn't forecast, and so I very quickly got my tarp up, the one I made, which I brought with me. Link to that if you're interested in making a tarp is up there. But yeah, it was a bit too heavy rain to film, in that I needed to get a wheel on, get things done, get my kit under and keep it dry. So now we'll look at the ingredients for tonight's cook up. I've got this lovely piece of trout that I caught yesterday. You saw that at the beginning of the video. And I'm just gonna, I try to use single-use plastics, but and do take my word for it, I've used this about 20 times, this bag, but these have been sent to me, and I'll put a link in the description, but they're reusable bags, Versabags, and they're absolutely brilliant. They're thick and they can be washed, they can be put in the dishwasher at time and time, and they're airtight, liquid tight. They're fantastic. So I'll leave you ahead of the game, but I've got some potatoes in that I've already cooked in one of those. I'll come back to those later, but if you want to avoid the use of single-use plastics, then get yourself some of these. So there's my trout. First thing I want to do is just fill it full of this garlic butter. I'm just going to score along the flesh and through the skin. And this gives me another opportunity, because I'm going to use it now. It's a little bit wet, the box, but take a look at these guys, the Nomad's kitchen. Absolutely brilliant bit of kit. They sent me this to, well, they didn't even say give a review, they're just very generous, but I thought I'd just take a little look at it with you. Small box, about 6 inches by 4 inches. You get a penknife, a lighter, that's some cooking oil, you get a pen, sort of a J-cloth, one of these folding spoons, a couple of stickers, lovely little chopping board. Here's the name of the game, little spice rack. So you got salt, pepper, cumin, chili flakes, curry, mixed herbs, paprika and garlic. And you can obviously put whatever you want in these, but this is what you start off with. But it's a great, lovely little addition to anyone's camping kit. So take a look at them. The link will be in the description below, but that's the Nomad's kitchen, and it's just a lovely little camping accessory. So I'm just going to put some mixed herbs on there, some pepper, and I'm going to flip it over and do the same on the other side. Right, well, I'll put some tin foil there. I'm going to quite loosely wrap it, because if you don't wrap it too tightly it doesn't get a nice sort of steam envelope around it as well. So that'll do okay like that, and I'm going to pop that on the FireTrough barbecue. To have with it, I've just got some lentils there. What I'm going to do is chop up these potatoes, undo this, put them in there, and then boil up this little concoction of lentils and new potatoes. Let's have a look here. Fantastic. Okay, so I've got my lentils and new potato mix here. Good job I'm not sharing the bivvy. This looks sensational. Oh, it smells fantastic with that garlic butter and the mixed herbs. There you go. Trout, lentils, new potatoes. Oh, and garlic butter, of course. That is lovely. Just stunning. One more look. Oh, so good. Usual, get on with this I'm going to actually build that little fire trough, the big one, up with some wood. You can hear it going there, and it's giving out a lot of heat. I was getting a bit chilly. There's loads of dead standing wood here, so I'm just going to use the main fire trough as a fire tonight. It's nicely above the ground. I've got some silver paper underneath it to protect as well, and a couple of rocks, so I can feel the heat from it now. It's giving off loads. That's just great. Right, time to enjoy this. I'll speak to you later. Well, what a meal. I just couldn't fault that. Lovely mixture of lentils, new potatoes and the trout, and the garlic butter in it. It's fantastic. And the I just, as I said, I'm pleased I'm not sharing the bivvy with anyone. But I've just got some water now on the boil, ready for a hot chocolate. It's 8:15, not too late. But had a few dodgy nights sleep with a very bad left knee at the moment, so it's not too bad at the moment, so I might try and get a bit of extra sleep tonight. And yeah, the heron are making lovely noises. They almost sound like sort of wild beasts, like, you know, deer in the rutting season, that sort of thing. Don't know if you can pick them up, but yeah, I think I'm going to be enjoying their company for the evening. Certainly they'll be in full voice for the morning. But yeah, in the meantime, I'll just enjoy my hot chocolate and have a little chat with you before bed. Well, I've really had to batten down the hatches here. Lowered the tarp so that the rain runs off nice and clear of everything. I didn't have it set up quite right. It was actually fine for when the weather was good, because I could just use it as a general sort of covert shelter. But now that the rain's come in, can you hear that? There you go. I've brought the corners down so that the rain runs off nicely. But got my fire trough burning away, nice little contained sort of stealth fire. But at 9:10 it's almost time for my bed, and I'm not going to do one of these get into bed filming and then get out of bed and stop the camera. So I'll say goodnight to you now, and I look forward to speaking to you in the morning. Well, that's a pretty miserable morning. Good sleep though. It's just a bit of a pain when it's raining and you've got to take down camp, because just got to do it in a certain way that, you know, keep everything dry until the last moment. So I'm glad I bought the tarp. But I'm going to get myself a hot drink and a bit of breakfast. Nothing too fancy this morning, just a freeze-dried meal, but yeah, better get up. Made a lot today, freeze-dried meal and a nice cup of coffee. That's good. These are fantastic. I got sent a box of them for my birthday, and you just fill it to whatever strength you want it, seal it up for a couple of minutes, let it brew, and then a nice cup of proper coffee. Fantastic. It's stopped raining, which I'm really pleased about. I don't mind being in a camp when it's raining. I actually quite like it. But for packing up or setting up camp, it's not what you want, so that's good it stopped. So, Mountain House Adventure Meals, spicy southern style, spicy southwest style skillet, and it says potatoes, shredded beef, black beans, green chilies and vegetables freeze dried. Looks horrible, but in my experience these are pretty good. I don't know how they do it. That's delicious. All packed up, just on my phone at the moment whilst I get my gear together, but that in the background is where I was. Just a little bit of discoloration where my sleeping mat was, but that'll soon change colour with the rain that's coming in. I've doused the ashes down and buried them, checked there's no residual heat, and yeah, leave no trace. Right, I'll get back to the Packraft. Well, that's me all packed up. The rain stayed off whilst I was packing, which was great. It's just started again now. I'm going to load up the Packraft now and make my way back, but it's just been a great camp. I hope you enjoyed it, and I very much look forward to seeing you again.